Hi, so this is the submission for the recording of the assessment 2, written assessment 2 for the security class. So basically I've identified some security risks within the library environment, IT environment. We're going through top to bottom, so I think overall there's probably, after a quick audit, maybe around 7 security risks that I've identified, possibly more, but it's good to do an evaluation before, fix up, then do an evaluation again. We're always trying to continually improve. So basically, I have roughly around 11 devices. 7 4 is 11. They basically have outdated operating system on them. They're running Windows 7, which isn't supported by the vendor anymore. Basically, the likelihood of this happening is medium for the public-facing ones because the Windows 7 machines are being used by guests of the library, so anyone can use them. And then the 4 desktops being used by the library teachers or staff. So, and library yeah. We also have a business continuity plan put in place. I figured that might be a good idea to put one in place because we need to be on top of not just malicious attacks but also fires, earthquakes, and tsunamis. The account storing for passwords and usernames is quite high. It's not in guidelines with ACSC, so basically we need to change that and make it 13 characters long, 13 characters long with special characters, etc., and possibly stored somewhere else and not in plain text. Data overall is quite high. A majority of these things result back to data. So if one of these things happen, then this is guaranteed to happen, basically. And again, with the SQL server, it might not be public facing to the public, but if one of these things get hacked, then this is a high guarantee that it will happen. And this is extreme because it's crucial where all your data is actually stored. Again, the Wi-Fi is using an encryption method that is outdated. We have better encryption methods now, and then this is not in guidelines with ACSC again. And then the likelihood of this happening is medium. And then the risk level is medium. Basically, people can just be man in the middle. So people be in the middle, looking at what you're doing and gathering information, not necessarily on the library, but people that are also using that network as just a free resource. So basically, I just got some few countermeasures to counter this. Those assets that we were just discussing. So with the Windows 7 machines, obviously we can upgrade them to the latest operating system, which is Windows 10. Windows 10 comes with a firewall, so we'll also be implementing even better security with the inbuilt firewall. You also get a performance boost by using Windows 10, and also you get cumulative updates as well as security updates monthly because it's all still supported by Microsoft. This is the same for the desktop stuff, assuming that the operating systems are the same as those ones. The countermeasures to the business continuity plan, we create one, obviously. We want to put a plan in to make sure that this stuff is continuing to work while it's not. So e.g., we put in a working from home, all that kind of stuff. So fire, we want to keep selling books, we want to keep stuff open. The accounts, we want to uplift the policy on storing accounts and passwords. Obviously, that's not right, having 4 characters long and then also storing them in plain text. So we put that in guidelines with ACSC, and then we obviously have to be changed monthly, and then not exactly the same password every time you change. Countermeasures to data. If we basically upgrade the SQL server or anything else, in here we're reducing the measures to data risk because the attack surface becomes lower. So the lower attack surface, the lower risk of being attacked, basically. Then we have the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is basically a flick of a switch by going to WPA2. If we go to WPA2, we're increasing the chances of not being hacked because it's harder to hack. It still is hackable, but not as much as what WEP is. So we just did a reevaluation of what would happen if we did upgrade the following assets and reduce those risks. So we have low for the Windows 7 devices because Microsoft supported vended. And then we also have low again, medium. So business continuity plan is still medium. Other situations can affect businesses. So obviously like COVID would be one, pandemic, working from home. tsunami, or like I said before, fires, all that kind of stuff. Administrations, so if we implement policies on changing passwords and password length and complexity, this becomes quite low. And if it's changed frequently, then it's harder to get someone's credentials to authorize or authenticate people. The data breach is still medium for the impact, but it's low of happening because everything else has been updated to reduce the attack surface. So if one of these obviously fail, one of these other assets or entries of attack surface fail, then obviously data can potentially fail as well, but it's still low. And then the SQL server, if we update everything else, then this becomes low. And then obviously updating the SQL server again, so it's supported by Microsoft, will obviously make it even lower because it's also getting its own security updates and cumulative updates. Wi-Fi, medium, because obviously, like I said, WPA2 is still able to be hacked by machines using injection method or just force brute, but WEP is much easier to use. So obviously I want to upgrade one of these, and I decided to go with the desktops machines, all of them. I decided to go with Windows 10 Home just based on cost, and then also you have its own operating system inside it, so own operating system that's supported by Microsoft as well as its own firewall. These are public facing, which makes the attack surface a lot lower. You could also upgrade the Wi-Fi free of charge, provided that your router supports WPA2. And then obviously, if you upgrade the machines, you obviously get better performance as well, because newer is better. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the upgrade of the workstations within the security as a whole? I don't know what the budget's like, but that's quite cheap for 24 devices, $6,000. So it's not bad. And then we got $8,000, and then this one's subscription based. So there's a $2,000 difference. You could possibly also go with Pro, depending on the budget of what you have. That's something we can talk about later. The environment that maintain the infrastructure. It would probably be ideal to have an IT person managing this. We kind of don't want people that are non-technical to be doing this kind of stuff. And then also we just have, it'd be nice to hire someone else to do this. There are also plenty of other students believe addressing. So again, I think that doing the Windows 10 one would probably be the best because they're used by the public, and you can't trust the public. Anyway, thank you very much for my submission. Hopefully it goes well, and I'll see you in the next one.